Hello and welcome to a video on orders of operation. And before we get started, I would just like you to pause the video and evaluate this expression here. Okay, so I'm assuming that after you've done that, you've got one of two possible answers. So you've either got 27 as your answer, or you've got 13. So depending on which order you've done this, you would have got one of these two answers. Now the correct answer is 13. And the reason why the answer is 13 is because 2 times 3 gives us 6. And then we've got 7 plus 6. 7 plus 6 does give us 13. And this is all because of the orders of operation in which we do things in maths. Okay, there are a set of rules that we have to follow in maths, and it all relates to the order in which we perform calculations. So you can think about the orders of operation as what is the most important operation to perform first, or which operation takes precedence over the other ones. And top of the list is brackets. Okay, so brackets always come first. So if you see a set of brackets in your expression, you would always evaluate what's inside the brackets first. The next one down from brackets is indices. So indices, or you could say powers or exponents if you're from across the Atlantic. The next operation after indices, which has the next level of priority, is multiplication and division. So multiplication and division have the same level of priority, and you might be wondering, well, which one do I do first? And I'll come to that in a moment. So after multiplication and division, we are just left with addition and subtraction. And again, addition and subtraction have the same level of priority, so I'm going to write them on the same line. And there's a really convenient way of remembering this. You just take the first letters of each of these, and it's just an acronym that is pronounced BIDMAS. Okay, so BIDMAS. So if you ever forget the orders of operation, just think BIDMAS. So I'm going to go through a couple of worked examples of evaluating expressions using our orders of operation, and then I'll give you a few to do yourself. So with this first one here, we don't have any brackets, we don't have any indices, but we do have a multiplication. So we're going to do this first. So 3 times 3 gives us 9, so we're just left with 10 plus 5 plus 9. And because addition is commutative, it doesn't matter which order we do these. So 10 plus 5 is 15, 15 plus 9 is 24. So now if I have a look at number 2, the first one is brackets, where we do have brackets in here, so we're going to do the brackets first. So 8 divided by 4 is 2, so it's going to be 7 times 2 squared. Now after brackets come indices, so we're going to do the indices next. So 2 squared is 4, so it's just going to be 7 times 4, and 7 times 4 is 28. Now with this last one here, we do have brackets, so we can evaluate the brackets first. So if I just copy this down again, and then 4 subtract 3 is 1. And now we don't have any indices, but we do have multiplication and division. Now you might be thinking, well, let's do the multiplication first because the M comes before the D. But right at the very beginning of the video, I said that they are the same level. Okay, so they don't have any priority over one another. And how we would evaluate this is we would do it from left to right. So if we read our expression from left to right, the first thing we come across is the division. So we would do the division first. So we do 24 divided by 3. So this bit here is 8. And then times 2 minus 1. Now we can do our multiplication because that comes before subtraction. So 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 1 gives us 15. So our answer is 15. And just notice that if we did do the multiplication first, we would get a different answer. Okay, so now it's over to you. Why don't you pause the video and have a go at evaluating each of these 8 expressions, and remember to use your orders of operation. Okay, so I'm assuming you've paused the video and had a go, so let's go through your answers now. So here we don't have any brackets, we don't have any indices, but we do have multiplication. So 5 times 3 gives us 15. So it's 15 plus 2 times 6. And now again, we've got another multiplication, so we can do the 2 times 6. That gives us 12. So we've got 15 plus 12, which gives us 27. Okay, the next one. We've got a division. That's our first priority because we don't have brackets or indices. And we go from left to right, so let's do the 9 times 3 first. That gives us 3. And then we're adding on 15 times 2. And now we do the multiplication before the addition. So 15 times 2 is 30. So we've got 3 plus 30, which gives us 33. Okay, now we do have brackets, so let's evaluate these brackets first. 2 plus 1 gives us 3, so we're left with 5 times 3 plus 4, and now we do the multiplication before the addition. 5 times 3 gives us 15, so we've got 15 plus 4, which is 19. Okay, again we've got brackets, let's do these first. 1 plus 4 gives us 5, we've got 50 minus 5 times 4, but now we do the multiplication before we do the subtraction. So we do this bit first. 5 times 4 is 20, so we've got 50 minus 20, which is 30. Now for question number 5, we don't have brackets, and you might be thinking, well, we don't have any indices, but we actually do. This here, instead of writing the square root of 4, we could also say that is 4 to the half power. Okay, that's another way of saying the square root of 4. So actually we would count this as an index. So we would evaluate this first. So we've got 2 times 5 minus the square root of 4 is 2. And now we can do our multiplication. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 2 gives us 8. So indices, you could also write in there roots. Okay, roots, like square roots, cube roots, they would all come under indices as well. Question number 6, we don't have any brackets, we do have 2 sets of indices, so let's evaluate both of those. 8 squared is 64, and 3 squared is 9, so we've got 64 plus 2 times 9, and now we'll do the multiplication next. So we've got 64 plus 2 times 9 is 18, 64 plus 18, that gives us 82. Okay, question 7, we do have brackets, so let's evaluate the brackets first. 100 divided by 10 gives us 10, so we're left with 3 times 10 squared, and now we'll do the indices. 10 squared is 100, so we've got 3 times 100, which is 300. Let's just underline these answers. And last but not least, question 8. So let's do our indices first. 6 squared is 36, so we've got 11 plus 11 minus 36 divided by 2. So we will do our division next before our addition and subtraction. So 36 divided by 2 is 18. So we've got 11 plus 11 minus 18. And we always go from left to right. So 11 plus 11. So we would do the, again, we do the addition and subtraction of the same level, but we go from left to right. So 11 plus 11 is 22. So it's 22 minus 18, which gives us 4. So all of these questions that we've gone through and that you've answered, they all depend on you knowing your orders of operation. Because if you don't, and you do things in the wrong order, then you will most likely get the wrong answer. And how I like to remember the order is by using the acronym BIDMAS. So brackets have the highest precedence, then come indices, then come multiplication and division, and then come addition and subtraction. And with these last two, the order in which we do things is all based on how we read from left to right. So multiplication doesn't necessarily take precedence over division. It all depends on which one comes first in the expression. Now, all of these questions that we've looked at today have been quite simple calculations, but this concept of orders of operation and BIDMAS, this applies to every branch of maths. So even when you get into things like algebra, when you're evaluating expressions that contain unknowns, then you would still apply the orders of operation. So this is just an introduction to that, so hopefully that helps when you do get onto slightly more advanced maths. Thanks for watching.